Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Build Your Best Life of Coach Deborah D. Smith. I am super excited to have you here today because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to come and join us on this beautiful Tuesday. Well, we have Pastor Sabrina Williams back with us. It's been a while. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, Coach.
I'm glad you are back. Well, well, our theme for this month is positive living, ultimate success. Positive living, ultimate success. So, it's a great thing to have that positive mindset. But when you think of all the things that consume our time, you have to stop sometime and ask yourself, what gives me power? Well, here's some areas that may come to mind when you think about what gives me power. Does what you eat give you power? Does exercising give you power? Does reading give you power? How about does your degree give you power? Does your power come from other people? Well, now I'm sure that you answered in various ways. However, the correct answer is none of the above. And that's why our topic today is none of the above, because a lot of times people don't realize where their power comes from. Guess where it comes from? Positive thinking. Positive thinking. We are what we think. So, Pastor Williams and I are going to get into that. But before we start, we want her to introduce herself. Uh,
Hey, how are you guys doing tonight? Thank you for being a part and thank you for having me, Coach, again. I am Pastor Sabrina L. Williams. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. That's why I have my hoodie on because it's rainy and cold. It's about to turn really cold here in Chicago. So we're trying to stay warm. I am a former children's church pastor, and now at my ministry, I am the online pastor. And me and my husband also have a business called which is Innovative Ideas. We kind of help people with their online technology needs.
all right, awesome stuff. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We just want to give a shout out here. I see some people have tuned in. Karen Miller, thank you for tuning in. Glad you're feeling better. Good evening, Dan. Thank you for tuning in. Please make sure that you share and like. So we want everybody to be a part of this conversation. And put your comments out there. We love comments. Well, people often don't think about their thoughts and how they impact their lives. A person may have a class reunion coming up and they want to fit in a certain size gown. They may tell themselves, well, I'll go on a diet, but they never do. However, in their minds, they're still thinking, why should I? I will never lose enough weight by the reunion. Why am I starving myself? I won't lose any weight. But they need to realize that their thoughts have power over their good intentions. So they have defeated the whole thing when they say they can't. Uh, Pastor Williams, how can our positive thinking overpower our intentions?
I love this topic because so many times we don't talk about what we're actually thinking, or we don't express what we're thinking. Me being a pastor, I often use scriptures to kind of help me get through. And there's a scripture that says, "For as a man think in his heart, so is he." Meaning what you think you are is what you really are. And so, but there's another scripture for maybe you might have those who not in the faith watching you tonight. There's a quote that says, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. So ultimately, your thoughts can determine your destiny. And so if we don't watch what we're thinking, we'll start acting out what we're thinking. So if we think we can't lose weight, then we won't even attempt to lose weight. And then that can have a negative thought on even the things we do, we say, or even how we feel about each other. And once you start feeling negative about yourself, then you're going down a whole different path.
All right. Yeah, I believe that. So, hey, Coach Adele, I'm glad you're feeling better. Thank you for your comment. Yes, we are what we think. And the Bible says, so as a man thinketh, so is he. Most definitely. Thank you for those comments.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah. That's my shot town. Yeah, my shot town.
Oh, all right. You know, people can be highly offended by words people speak and the actions that they take. However, those words and acts start with our thoughts.
Yeah.
Sometimes those thoughts can be worse than actions because our thoughts can produce some extremely harmful ideas. How can you use self talk to overpower negative thoughts that may be lingering?
Yeah, I think your words really offset, if I can say, your mood or how you feel about yourself. It creates the atmosphere around you. And so the words that you speak out of your mouth can really determine how your day goes. So you wake up in the morning time and you have, oh man, I hate this job, I hate where I'm going, I don't feel like doing this, or whatever it is. Those negative thoughts, you go into that atmosphere with that. It attaches to you. But if you go in there with a positive mindset and you say, I can do this today. I'm empowered to do this. Encouraging yourself to believe that you can do what you set yourself to do, your atmosphere it changes. And so I don't think a lot of people think that. Again, I'm a pastor, so I think death and life is in the power of the tongue. And I don't think that's by accident that they put death first, because I think we often speak death over ourselves before we speak life over ourselves. It's harder for us to speak life, to speak encouragement to ourselves, than it is for death. And so that's why this topic that you're doing is so important, because we have to transition our minds. We have to get our minds to think in a different way, to start thinking of the positive. One time I went on a negative fast. I know sometimes we go on this food fast, right? Mm-hmm. And I really learned how much negative speaking I was doing. I mean, just the smallest thing. Like, oh my God, I can't get this can open. Why are you fussing about not getting the can open? Like, why is that part of your conversation? But it starts off that small. And I know that's funny, but it lingers on to the big things. When you really have a challenge in front of you, what are you saying to yourself to empower yourself to be able to overcome that challenge? Well, it starts in your mind. It starts on how you think. If you can't think it, then you can't see it, right? If you can't see it, then you can't believe it. And if you can't believe it, you're definitely not going to do it. And so I think it's really important for us to transition the way we think so that we can overpower any lingering thoughts that we may have.
That's right. I do believe in that, Oh, how you doing, Deborah? Oh, I'm okay. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Yeah. If I'm dragging, I want to feel great, so I'm feeling great.
Yeah. And but the thing about it, even if your body language didn't say it, the words out of your mouth were positive, and I believe that it'll catch up. And I want people to understand that. Like, even if I don't really see it and I don't feel like it, what I'm saying out of my mouth will change the atmosphere. And so that I start believing, like, hey, I am feeling good. Like, I'm in a good mood today. Like, there's nothing really that wrong with me that I gotta go around feeling like I'm defeated today. And so I think we need to be able to think it and express it as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Show it in your body language, because that says a lot.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Day in and day out, we see and hear in the news accounts of natural disasters, natural disasters, like flooding or what have you. We have murder. We now have mass murders every time you turn on the TV, murder, suicides, suicide. You got hunger, you got homelessness, etc. Although all these situations are facts of life, how can we use our positive thoughts to overpower the anxiety and the depression that can occur?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to break anxiety and depression into two separate categories.
Okay.
Because I started actually having therapy, and I know a lot of Christians like, you're a pastor, you need therapy. Yes, there are some things that you just need to talk out with a professional, hopefully a spiritual professional.
All right.
And anxiety, I learned, was not a bad thing because it's warning signals. It's warning you to examine what's wrong with you, right? So if I'm feeling anxiety about something, it's like, okay, what's getting me off? And it makes me think about what's going on in my life, or what is the situation, what's the current atmosphere I'm in, and it makes me think about it. The problem with anxiety is that when it gets to the point where we have let our thoughts and our fears overcome us, and then we just get into anxiety and we can't move and we can't shake from it, which can lead to us having things like depression. And I think that, one, if you need counseling, go get it. But I think if it's just beginning, our positive thoughts and minds give us a different outlook, which we gives the result of a different outcome.
Mhm.
Positive thinking makes you look at the situation and think about the situation in a different way, that you approach it differently. So if I approach something differently based on the positive thinking that I'm having, then I will 9 times out of 10 get the outcome that I'm looking for. And even if I don't, because I have positive thinking, I'll say, well, what did I learn from that? Or why didn't it go well this time? How can I do it better next time? Whereas if I have negative thinking, I'm probably going to get the outcome of a negative outcome. And then I'm going to go into further depth into negativity of what, I shouldn't have tried it in the first place. Well, why did I even attempt it? I knew I couldn't do it. This was a complete failure. And it holds you back. And I know so many people who spend years not working out their purpose and their destiny just because of their mindset. Their mindset and it limit them on what they could do or what they thought they could do. And so they never went for it. And so when you have a positive mindset, you get this certain confidence, and you get this certain courageous spirit that you'll try anything no matter what the results are, because you feel like it's all going to work out for you anyway. That's why we have to have a positive mindset in spite of what's going on in the world, right? Because we know we live in this world and things are going to happen. But I believe that our mind can help us with the way we think, guide and direct us in such a way that we see the things that we want to see in spite of the things that's going around us.
That's good. Yeah, I do believe, it can help. And, it comes down, I think, too, a lot of times, like through the things that happen in life, and, people, they want to blame someone else
Right.
because they allowed what they were thinking to do. It's like we were talking about the hurricane that came through here. So down in one of the areas where there was a lot of damage, I mean, it was this one neighborhood they showed that, I mean, it was just extremely flooded. So they had to send in boats and whatever to get the people out that did not evacuate like they asked them to do, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
I'm laughing because uh, it wasn't funny that they got caught in there, but it was this lady, I think it was her and her mom. And so they had to rescue them. And she gets up there and she says, well, I just think they need to get it together. This is just ridiculous. As long as it took them to rescue us. But they told you to evacuate.
Right.
So you're thinking they told you these are the risks. They gave you plenty of warning that the storm was coming, what you needed to do. You're in a low flooding area. Please evacuate. You decided no, you were not. But then when you got in trouble and you got that fear, so I know she was anxious. What's going to happen? I've kept my mom here and now I don't know what's going to happen. So then she had to blame someone else, and her actions came out on the negative side, blaming others instead of being happy that, hey, I got rescued.
Yeah, and let's talk about that, because oftentimes that is one of the tools for negative thinking, right? Blaming other people for why your situation didn't turn out the way you thought it should be, right? And so instead of us being accountable for what we did, how we were thinking, how we approached the situation. It's blaming the world, blaming society, blaming people, blaming man for what we did not accomplish. But no one controls your thoughts. That's the great thing about it. Nobody can control your thoughts. You are the only person that can control how you think. So it does not matter what someone else says to you. And I know words do cause damage. I'm a believer in that. But if you have the right mindset, you can overpower the words that are attacking you. And so you don't have to blame others for the situation that you're in.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. We have some good comments going out here. If you're just tuning in, make sure that you like. And if you need to, go back and listen, because this is a great conversation about what does not have power over our lives. You know, it's not what we possess, what we have earned, what the title in front of our names, or anything like that. The power comes from us having the right to make those choices and
Yeah.
having that positive thinking.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
control the person you see in the mirror. Nobody else.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a great point that you said right there. This supports all of this. Building your best life, you have control of the life you want to build. It's just what tools are you going to use? And one of the tools that you have to have is your mindset and positive thinking.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes. So, so many people don't have a clue that what they think and say impacts the actions of other people, as I'm saying that earlier when I was preparing, didn't think this way, but that first when I said that, I immediately thought about bullies. So yes, they say things and do things to people to try to harm them and make them do stuff. But a lot of times, I think some of them don't know the impact that they have on that person. That person may already have low self-esteem, and then here you go saying derogatory things about them.
Yeah.
But they, allow negative people to speak that doubt and despair into their lives, and then they never say anything positive about themselves.
Yeah.
They're either, tired, broke, sick, never get any opportunities, on and on and on, all this negative stuff. So, can you please provide us with your perspective on the power of that positive thinking?
Yeah, that's really good. And I was thinking about this question actually earlier, and one of them was I don't know, I say this a lot on my page for anybody who follows me, that over the last year and a half, I've been battling alopecia with my hair. And so in denial for a couple of years, oh, it's just a small little, whatever. Finally went to the dermatologist, and she gave me the remedy of what I need to do. And one of them was to keep heat and weave out of my hair. Now, anybody who knows me, that picture right there, that's my inspiration. I'm not up there because it's vain. That's my hair. Actually, is really that long in the back. And that's my inspiration. And I was like, I need something to keep me thinking positive about where I want to be, because if I have the mindset I'm going to lose all my hair, and that is some people cases, but the doctor told me I had a chance of keeping my hair if I followed the process. And so the process was so hard though. No heat, meaning I can't straighten out my hair. I wear my hair natural, but not as much as I'm going to have to wear it, trying to keep the heat out of it. I like wigs, but I like certain wigs. They cost a lot of money, it's just all that. And then I love weave. So I can't put a drop of weave or braids. Like in the wintertime, I have to put braids myself. So it's me. It was me against me. It was me in the mirror every day saying, hey, Sabrina, you're still beautiful without a wig. You're still beautiful without blow drying your hair like that. You're going to get back to that. But in the meantime, you got to go through this process. You're still beautiful without weaving your hair. You're still beautiful without all that. Like, I had to discover, and this is often the bigger issue, what my self-identity is caught up in. Is my self-identity caught up in my hair? Is my self-identity caught up in my job? Is my self-identity caught up in my money, how much money I make, how much money I don't make? where is my self-identity lied in? Because that is what's projecting the way I think about myself. And so if I don't have my self-identity secured and aligned in the right things of who I am, when I don't have those things, then I can't think positive about myself and who I am. And so oftentimes, I know I use my hair with alopecia, but somebody else got something going on. You know, somebody feel like, oh, I'm not married and I should be married at this age, or I haven't finished school like I thought, or I haven't started that business like I thought I was going to do. And your identity is tied into that. And if your identity is tied into that, then it's hard for you to keep positive thinking. So the power in positive thinking really lies in who do you believe you are, and owning that and speaking that into your life.
Who do you believe you are? That's a mouthful right there. And you're right. And, you know, social media does not help.
Right.
We have so many people trying to be that person that they see out there on social media, when in fact, that person that's out there on social media, they've been to the tanning salon, they've had someone to make them up,
Right.
they have extensions, they have, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not really them, but you're trying to be like them. That's not them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you want to have to get up and pay all that money and do all those things that they do, or you want to put a little powder on, a little eyeshadow, and hey, I'm good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
need all that.
People online show you the filters, and that's in every aspect. They show you the filter and the highlights. Like, this is who I'm pretending I am, because I really don't feel like that. Let me put a filter on so that I can, you know, get the wrinkles out, or look, my face look more smoother, or change my eye colors. Or they show you the highlights. Like, today I'm having fun, you know, but I didn't show you last week when I was crying, you know. So you can't really base your life on social media. That's why I say you have to ask yourself, who do you believe you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you were talking as well, something else I thought about was those affirmations. You
Yes.
know, we beat ourselves, some of us just beat ourselves up, and then we have other people that's beating us up. But I believe that it is so important to write your own affirmations. I mean, there are some all around, and I use those, but also, especially if you have low self-esteem or something like that, write your own. You know,
Yeah.
my name is Deborah.
Yeah.
When God made me, He broke that mold. I'm unique. He
Yeah.
loves me. I
Yeah.
love me. And
Yes.
then you gotta tell yourself that, and you gotta believe that, you know?
Yes. Yes. Because it's like, that's why music is so powerful. Because the words of a song plays over and over in your head. You know, you could be doing something, and then all of a sudden the lyrics to a song, and it's so powerful. You cannot have heard that song for 5 or 10 years, but when you hear the beat of it, you can sing it again. That's why affirmations are so powerful, because you can be having a bad day, but if you saying affirmations to yourself over and over again, that affirmation will come up in your spirit and just kill any negativity that is trying to come into your day and make you feel bad about yourself or whatever's going on. So affirmations are powerful. I believe in speaking them out loud. I know we're talking about them, but say them out loud. Let yourself hear yourself saying them, and so that you start believing them. I even got to a point one time when I recorded myself saying affirmations, and I would play myself at nighttime. I know we like to hear other people, but there's something I believe about the power of your voice. The power of your voice saying it to yourself is so powerful and affirming that I did it, and I play it to myself when I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are very, very powerful. I have 6 grandchildren, but one of them is the one that's 7.
Yeah.
She cries, she's sensitive, like her nana. But so I wrote her affirmation, you know, and so I wanted to get her to learn it, and she okay. But she wasn't like learning it, and then but she can just look at something and learn it. So, but then I would ask her to say it, and she wouldn't say it. But
Yeah.
you know, it said, "Hi, my name is Natalia. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am wonderfully made by God, and I'm the boss of me." And so I would tell her to say it, and she was like, She just looked. And so one day I was telling her mom, I said, see, she was crying today for no reason. That's why I wanted to say her affirmation. My name is Natalia. She said, Nana, you're saying it wrong.
So she was picking up on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is powerful. And she will remember that. I know that that's now, but I know when, we as young ladies, we're going through life, and maybe it's a boy or somebody or friend at school who makes us feel bad about ourselves, that affirmation will come up in our spirit. It's like, no, wait a minute. I am beautiful. I am smart, all of that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that you include your name in it. Because that's like ownership. Like, I'm owning my words. I think that's great. Own your words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. So if you're out there and you hear this, or you know somebody needs to do this, get them to write that affirmation, put it up, say it every morning in the mirror to yourself till you learn it, and then just make that a part of your habit, your ritual every morning.
Yeah. 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 Early in the morning, saying that to yourself while you're getting ready for your day, that's powerful, because it sets, again, I'm big on setting the atmosphere. You set your atmosphere before you go into the atmosphere. Like, I set my atmosphere before I go in the atmosphere, because I want the atmosphere to catch up with what I brought out there.
All right.
Atmosphere changer. And so if I set my atmosphere at home, that's the atmosphere that I'm bringing to every part of my day, no matter where I'm at.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good stuff. I believe in that. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Please provide us some tips for shifting from negative thoughts to pleasant thoughts, such as kindness, love, and other positive acts.
Yeah. I think the biggest part of this tip that I would like to share is discover the power of you. You have to discover the power of you. Who are you? I've been on this real journey of Jeremiah, when it says, before you was in your mother's womb, I knew you. And my question to God is, who did you know? Before I was in my mother's womb, who did you know? Because that's the person I need to become. Because if I become that person, I am walking it not only in my purpose, but everything that you have put inside of me, I will be able to feel it, because I know who I am. And so my journey is discovering the power of who I am. So discover the power of you. And this is what I believe it does. It allows you to own your voice. A lot of times we don't own our voice. And so when we own our voice, we're able to speak more positive, because we're owning what's coming out of our mouth. And that's normally the things that we were created, if we discover who God created us to be, the power and authority and dominion that we're supposed to be walking in the first place. And then the second part of that is know your worth. If you don't know your worth, then it's hard for you to think positive about who you are in the first place. So know your worth, own your voice, and all of those things help you discover the power of you. There is nothing more powerful than knowing who you are and walking in that.
That's right. Know who you are, not who someone else wants you to be, who you think somebody wants you to be, who you are.
Yeah, you won't even attract that. When you discover the power of you, like, people will know, oh no, they're not even going that way. I can't even convince them to do something else, because they know who they are. I can't even speak words of doubt or negativity in their mind, because they're so convinced on knowing who they are that they won't even receive that from me. And so it's no need of me even trying to put it in them. It's like you become bulletproof to that, because you know who you are, you know who you come from, you know your voice, you own your voice, and you know your worth. And when you have all of those things going for you, it's hard to think negative. Negativity seeps in, because that's that insecurity in there, or that's a low self-esteem, or that not knowing your worth and all of that. But when you discover that, it's hard for somebody to tell you something negative about yourself, because you already know it, right? Because discovering yourself doesn't mean that you know you're perfect. You can own your own flaws. But guess what? When I know my flaws, then I'm able to work on them to be strengthened, or I surround myself with people who will help me strengthen my flaws. So you can't call it out on me because I didn't call it out on myself. And you can't play with my mind and make me think any differently about myself because I already know it.
That's right. That's right. Call it out yourself, and then, like you say, you can work on it.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
that is a good thing. Good thing. Well, as we prepare to close, uh, can you please give our viewers 3 points to focus on as they strive to have that positive mindset that they need to strive on?
Yeah, I think spending time meditating is one of them. There's not many people who spend time in the quiet with themselves. Like, do you spend time with yourself? And I don't know, we go take ourselves to the movies or we go get our nails and hair done or whatever you do for your time, but I'm saying sitting with yourself. How do you get to know someone if you don't spend time with them? Well,
That's
how
right.
do you get to know yourself if you're not spending time with yourself? No noise, no distractions. Become aware of what you're thinking, how you're feeling, having that conversation with yourself. Why do I think like that? Why am I feeling like that? Is this the way I'm supposed to be feeling? What can I do to change that? Make sure that you're meditating. Two is speak affirmations. I have that as well. Meditating to spend time with yourself, but speaking affirmation to encourage yourself. Speaking affirmation to build up your self-esteem, build up your self-worth, build up how you're feeling about yourself, and to transition them your mindset, to transition the way you think about things. The outlook of everything is all about perspective. And if you don't have the right perspective about who you are, then you won't get that outcome. You definitely won't get the best life that God has for you. And so you have to have affirmation. My affirmations are usually scriptures. I use the word of God because I believe there is nothing greater than saying what God says about me.
Mm-hmm.
If I can say what God says about me, then I am affirming myself the way He sees me and the way He wants me to be. And so I use scriptures, but there are a lot of great affirmations out there. Write your own affirmation. Write the affirmation that you want yourself to be. If you're not there, write everything you want yourself to be and make that your affirmation and let that be who you transition to. And then stand on your beliefs. I believe in standing on your belief. Um, I believe um, in the Bible and the Word of God, and so that is a part of who I am, and that's part of how I think. I think according to the Word of God, and so. But I have to stand on that, and that comes with just discovering yourself and discovering the power of you. Once you're able to do that, then you can stand on your beliefs, and if you stand on your beliefs, you're not tossed to and from with other people's perspectives. You get like that and your mind doesn't stay clear, and you can get those negative thoughts because you're being tossed to and from other people's perspectives, right? Stay
Right.
on what you believe you are. So meditate, speak affirmation, and stand on your beliefs are my tips for you to have a positive mindset.
All right. You heard it. So I hope you were taking notes. If not, you can always go back and look at this again. But we Pastor Williams has given us some great uh, tidbits to live by to get us to a place. If you're not there, you may already be there, and that's wonderful. But I know a lot, and sometimes I catch myself, why am I even thinking that? Um, you don't even want those negative thoughts in our running around in our heads. We want to think positive, speak positive, and be positive. So we had some great nuggets. So again, share, share, share. And even if you are watching here on Facebook, if you could please visit my YouTube page and subscribe to that page as well, I would appreciate it. And Pastor Williams, if you could please share with us how everyone can reach you, what you're up to these days.
Well, thank you all. First of all, thank you for having me. It was such an honor just to be able to speak to your audience about this topic. I think it's much necessary. The way we think really has a lot to do with how we live. But they can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's Sabrina L. Williams. I'm doing a lot of this lately,
Okay.
talking and teaching, and of course with my business, helping people with their online needs. So that's how they can reach out to me.
All right. I'll have that. That's Sabrina L. Williams. So make sure that you reach out and see what she is doing. It's always good when you can go and view other positive people, because we are what we hang around with, what we let into our spirits or whatever. So we know that she's doing positive things. So that is something that we want to absorb and get in our space. So please check her out. And I appreciate it if you would visit my website, which is www.buildyourbestlife.org. You can see my calendar of events, the events we have coming up, of course, in November. I think this will be my 3rd annual virtual Blessed and Grateful Conference. We have speakers on the 14th, which is a Monday, through the 17th. Speaking, and your own buddy Della is one of our speakers for the conference.
Yay.
So check out our calendar of events. You can find out more about Build Your Best Life. As well, you can visit our online store, which has the services that I offer, which is coaching, consultations, speaking, webinar speaking, and you can get an autographed copy of my book, Build Your Best Life. Its basic principles will teach you how to overcome obstacles and build your best life. So you order your copy, you get your autographed copy in the mail quickly. And if you prefer Kindle version, you can go to Amazon.com. If you're in the Bahamas, reach out to Anastasia Smith. She has copies in the Bahamas. So again, thank you all so much for tuning in today. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and come back on Thursday, October the 27th. And our topic is going to be sustaining the power. So, a lot of times we shift and we change and we can do better. But we want to make sure that we stay in that better place. We don't want to backslide. So come check us out Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, as you on your road to being a better you, that it's not even something that you have to think about. You will run into distractions, rough terrain, detours, but you can't let any of those negative aspects of your journey stop you. They may slow you down, but keep going to be a better you so that you can build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Again, thank you so much, Sabrina, for coming on. And I hope to see you back on here soon.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Mm-hmm.